What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and a happy new year to you. We are now officially in 2021, which is great, and we survived a crazy year that was 2020, which is a nice feeling, I guess. I don't know, we're still kind of living in the craziness right now, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, what we're going to do today is talk about 2021, my aspirations personally. Also, I might talk about other subjects to do with what may happen in the year 2021, or what I hope will happen during the year 2021 in terms of gaming, in terms of sports, and maybe some other subjects as well. We'll see how we go. But yeah, it's just going to be a nice little relaxed episode today. We're just going to be talking about these things, as well as me playing to the backdrop of Fall Guys, which is now in its season 3, which I haven't touched, which looks like it's a winter version. So maybe we might come across some new levels. Could be a bit of fun while I try and claim another crown, which if you've watched my previous videos on Fall Guys, has not necessarily gone so well. So yeah, this could be a little bit of a fun episode. If you're new around here, please subscribe. Also remember to smash that like button as well. It'll be very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into today's topic. So first round today on Fall Guys is Gate Crash, which I haven't, well, considering I haven't played it for a while, but it's one of the ordinary ones that we're always used to, isn't it? So yeah, let's get into it, see what we can do. Now in terms of 2021, I guess the first thing that is kind of like aspiration for me is to really knuckle down in terms of my career and the qualifications I need to advance within my career. So I work in accounting, and I do kind of enjoy like the problem solving aspects of it, but I need to qualify as a qualified accountant. Oh, that failed miserably. Oh no, oh my word, I'm getting slapped around. So with that, I need to try and complete my ACCA course, so I can become a qualified accountant. And I think while I won't be able to do it like straight away, like do it within the year and stuff like that, I really need to like buckle down and work towards it, because it's quite important to have like a career. As much as like I want YouTube for me, oh no, terrible, we could be out. As much as I want like this kind of channel to like kick off and do really well, at the end of the day I'm just doing it for fun. So we qualified, which is very nice indeed. So it's not really like where my bread and butter is going to be kind of done. It's going to be done within the accounting world, so I should really knuckle down and try and get that done and work towards that, becoming qualified. And maybe I might keep you guys up to date with the progress on that, but that's definitely like the number one thing for me right now, and what I really need to focus on is getting that done, so in order to advance in my career and be able to like push the boundaries in terms of where I go career wise. The next thing that I probably want to achieve is at least try and move into like a bigger house, or start building like a pot of money to get into a bigger house, to afford a bigger house essentially. Like at the moment, me and my wife do pretty well, living in a very nice little house that we own, but obviously like you're gonna want to upsize, and while we currently live in a nice 2-bedroom house, we need to think about upsizing at some point and start building towards doing that. So that's probably another thing that is quite important to do. And then other things that I want to try and get into is like I want to try and use my money a bit more wisely, so look at towards more investments and stuff. I think a lot of things like within school and that, they don't really teach you enough about financial management. They probably talk to you about like maybe like a bank account here and there, but when I was at school, like barely anything. I was taught nothing really about financial education and financial kind of astute decisions and stuff. It was kind of disappointing, has to be said, like to be in a position like that, where it's like you come out and you get like, you might have a savings account that your mum and dad have like saved for you and stuff like that, but apart from that, like, we finished second here, which is very good indeed. But apart from that, like you don't really come out of it knowing about investments, or looking around for like best interest rates and stuff like that. A lot of that you kind of have to like, you learn yourself, or try to learn yourself, but if you're not really being pointed in that direction, you never really pick it up. So I think that's quite a big one for me this year, is definitely get more into like investing in stocks and shares and markets and stuff like that, and try and kind of make that a bit more of like a wealth generation for me and my family as well. So I think that's going to be quite an important one, and definitely one of the big aspirations. And to any of you that are interested in that sort of stuff, I'd definitely say like look it up, read about it, watch YouTube videos about it. There's so many good kind of YouTubers out there that teach you all this stuff, and it's really important and definitely helps you in terms of building wealth and gaining wealth within the future to make you, as gain the things that you kind of want in life instead of, essentially living from paycheck to paycheck, which in some ways kind of what the education system, in my opinion, makes you feel like. So yeah, you've got to try and do your best to make sure that you can, achieve your aims, achieve your goals, but not just through work itself. Do it through like passive income and stuff. And I think that's probably quite a big thing that I look to try and do more of within this particular year. Another thing that I want to try and do is, start incorporating more exercise into my life. Like, as we're coming up from rock and roll, I love a team game on this game, me and team games on here, love them. But yeah, I definitely want to get more into exercise and stuff. Like when I was younger, I used to lift quite a lot of weights and stuff, but kind of over the years just ended up now not doing anything. And considering like the majority of us have probably been living in lockdown and stuff, you just don't get out as much, and you're spending a lot more time at home, and with that you kind of like lose focus on trying to be fit and healthy, and you don't really go out as much as you used to and stuff. So it's kind of a bit disappointing in that sense. So yeah, like that is definitely something that we'd certainly want to work on. So yeah, it's definitely something we're going to keep doing our best with. It's definitely something I look to try and incorporate more, and actually just build like a healthy lifestyle routine, as we just qualified, which is nice. It's good to see me qualify in a team game. That never happens. But yeah, just like something like this to continue, trying to live healthy, be well, be mindful of what I eat, but also get like the exercise as well within there, just to make sure I'm living as well as I could be and can be. So yeah, I definitely think exercise is one of those ones. You always hear it in New Year's resolutions, better diet, better exercise, that sort of stuff. But I think it is actually quite an important thing to do, and if you can build it around a good routine, which I will try and do. I'm not very good at stuff like that, but if I do that, then and stick to it, I think there's a lot of benefits to be had with it, and that's definitely something that I'll probably be looking to explore within this particular year. So yeah, it's definitely one of the top things that I want to try and get into and achieve. Tail tag. I'm not good at tail games, I always struggle trying to grab them, so it's going to be interesting to see how well I actually do with that. But yeah, those are kind of like the main things that I'm looking to try and achieve personally this year. Do I put like kind of like values on these things? I probably do, but everyone's different, isn't it? I don't have a tail to start with as well. Oh geez, I did not do that very well, did I? Let's see. Can't. I thought that would work. So yeah, it'll be good to see. It was close, but not close enough. But yeah, we have to wait and see what we can get from here. Oh, I grabbed one. Yay! I got tail. Yes, me. Alright, let's keep. Hey! Huh. This is kind of fun. I've completely stopped talking because I'm really concentrating. I don't want to get eliminated on this particular game mode, just because how much I hate it. So yeah, let's keep running and hopefully hope for the best, really. 28 seconds to survive as well. In terms of like other stuff, like I gotta be honest, right? Premier League looks very interesting right now. It's currently, I'm recording this on Saturday afternoon, and obviously like things are gonna change quickly, with the Premier League, because got a load of games on this weekend. But obviously Man United kind of got themselves at the moment joint top with Liverpool, and it seems like they got a really decent chance at the moment. First team to win 10 games and stuff is qualified, thank goodness. Yes, sorry for the concentration, but I had to. But yeah, I feel like Man United have done pretty well for themselves considering where they were at the start of the season. They were pretty like iffy, but then I'm saying that I'm an Arsenal supporter, and we looked relatively okay for the start of the season, and we just been drab ever since. We've been terrible. Got a couple of wins last few games out. Hopefully we'll continue with that tonight against West Brom, but when you guys see this video it'll be on Monday, so we will already know the results by then. Oh, hello. Brand new game. Finesse. Stay atop the Kraken. Oh, this is going to be interesting, that's for sure. Wow, okay. Stay atop the Kraken ice to avoid the slime below. See how well this one goes then. Anyway. So yeah, like, it'll be interesting to see exactly like how that kind of all works out. So, I see. Then you got like people like this. Oh wow, this is nuts. There's quite a lot of ice that you have to break through though, isn't there? It's like a version of the other hexagon. Hexagon! Used to love that. So yeah, in terms of like Man United and stuff, like, it's kind of, yeah, it's really interesting to see how well they do and see if they can keep it up. It's the same with Spurs. Like, it seems like by a long shot that Harry Kane and Son are definitely the most productive kind of partnership or attacking partnership going around. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can like keep it up. Oh, that was a bit dicey, wasn't it? Oh, okay, so you can't just like stand on them and see them break down. But yeah, for those guys, like, it's quite, they're very impressive. It's just whether or not they can keep it up. Oh no! For the rest of the season. Oh, just about survived that one. And then, you know, you've got like the top 4 race is really open. There's loads of different kind of players within that. Obviously, like, you're expecting to see the likes of oh, again, got away with one. Oh. It will be interesting to see the likes of like Liverpool and, you know, kind of like, I think Leicester are pretty good actually this season as well. Kind of like fighting it out for the title essentially. There's quite a few teams out there that could do it. So it'll be interesting to see how well they all go at the end of the day. But yeah, there's definitely quite a few teams around who have a lot to give. No! Oh, we just got eliminated. I was concentrating so hard and I dived at the wrong time, but it's a bit unfortunate that we just lost that one. We'll get into another one and we'll continue my talk about the Premier League and how I see like the top of the table kind of turning out. First round, we got roll out this time around. So yeah, going back to Premier League, like I said, I think United got a definite shout along with Liverpool. I think Liverpool are always going to be the team to beat just because of how good they are. Oh, this guy. Oh, we've got enough. Oh, look at me. Skills right there. That's what you call skills. Hey. Yeah, I think Liverpool are always going to be the team to beat. A bit surprised at how bad City have been so far this season. They've really just not been at the races as much as I would have expected. I say this as an Arsenal fan, obviously, like I just stated before. And Arsenal have just been really poor. We started out pretty good. And we had like a pretty good defensive record. And then we just didn't score goals and kept losing matches for too long, and that really cost us in a big sense, it has to be said. But, you know, won our last couple of games, got West Brom, like I said, later, so, you know, maybe we might be able to do something and start building a run and getting ourselves back up the table. But I don't see Arsenal doing a lot else apart from, like, maybe Europa League spots again as usual for us now. It seems to be quite a consistent thing. But however, I do think like the future under Mikel Arteta is definitely brighter for Arsenal, and I think as long as we stick with him and he gets another summer under his belt and clears out a lot of the deadwood, which they're hoping to do during January as well, I feel like, you know, the only way for the club is up. In terms of like Champions League spots, you know, I'm looking towards like the likes of Leicester, or really Everton are kind of in that mix, although they've been a bit hit and miss recently. Again, Chelsea is another team that I see up there along with City, all fighting for those kind of spaces. But in terms of like the actual title race itself, it does seem like it's going to be like a Liverpool Manchester type deal. I don't think any... Oh, and Tottenham. I can't forget Tottenham. Unfortunately, as much as I'm an Arsenal fan, Tottenham are doing very well. So, yeah, it's going to be between those guys, really. In terms of relegation battle, Sheffield United already look like they're already down and out, let's be honest about it. They haven't won a game yet. When I was checking earlier, they were losing to Crystal Palace, which probably doesn't bode well for them. And then you also got the likes of West Brom. I think the West Brom are really going to struggle, even with the man that is Sam Allardyce. It's not always going to work out so well. So even though he has never been relegated as a Premier League manager, which is still quite a fascinating stat, so you never know, he might be able to turn it around. But the West Brom job itself seems like the toughest one out of the lot, so I'm not really too sure he's going to be able to do what is needed in that sense. And then we got I don't really know who else I would really consider has got like major issues. Like obviously Brighton are a decent team, so it seems a bit weird that they may have as much trouble as they have been having. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't see that they are relegation candidates. Wow, finished second here. Wow, someone finished third. Flying through. Must have got hit by the old hammer there. But I don't really see like Brighton being that team, but I'm not really too sure about the other teams that could like really struggle. I think the only other one that really sticks to mind is Fulham. But apart from that, I think everyone else will probably still be in the league next season. So I really do feel like Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United are the teams that will be going down based on current projections, and I'd expect that to be the same with this. In terms of like Champions League winners, Europa League winners, tough to say. I don't know. With PSG now getting Mauricio Pochettino in, you never know what you're going to see with them. But I haven't really kept an eye on the Champions League that much, or even the Europa League. So for me, it's just been mainly domestic football that I've been interested in terms of the Premier League, and that's about it. It's been very strange watching the Premier League, I have to admit, with no audience as well, and just with like drowned in sound noises, which is a bit weird. Yeah, has to be said. Apart from that, yeah, it's an interesting one. Kind of expecting that we'll know when the Joshua Tyson Fury fight will happen this year as well. Maybe not happen this year, but at least something will get penciled in between the two. It's definitely the title fight I think all of us want to see in terms of boxing, so it's definitely something I'd expect to see sooner rather than later. And then also I kind of just see Lewis Hamilton actually breaking Schumacher's kind of record for most amount of world title wins. I feel like he's got at least a good, I don't know, 2 or 3 years left in him in terms of becoming like the number one overall when it comes to that particular most number of championships. So I definitely expect to see that within our sport. Well, within this sport, within our sport, within the sport. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. Oh, can I just like sit on there? Is that a thing? That'd been fun. Oh, anyway, this feels like they've added an extra kind of green thing in this. Oi! Oh, jeez, that almost went a bit bad. Oh, this just seems like a pretty good, little tactic. We qualified as well. Oh, that was pretty quick, wasn't it? Yeah, so I expect to see that. In terms of other sports, tennis, I don't really know too much about in terms of a lot of other sports. In all fairness, like what I really kind of stick to is the likes of football, and just keep an eye on everything else, to be honest. So, certain big stars I probably have a better idea about in terms of what I think personally is going to happen, but a lot of other stuff I don't really keep an eye on. So yeah, I definitely think those kind of projections that I've just kind of made are probably what we're going to be hearing a lot from. In terms of like gaming industry, I'm really expecting to see some big things in terms of what kind of games, next gen games are going to come out, and just how much they can push those particular systems. Like, I kind of touched on it previously. Why did I try and do that? It's like almost jumping to eliminate myself. I don't I don't know why I do some of the stuff I do in this game at times. I just think, oh yeah, I should totally do that. Absolutely. See, like, I've done it again. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? So yeah, I kind of just expect to see some of the next gen consoles really be pushed a bit more to kind of what we will build towards in terms of how good games can actually be. But I'll always probably go back to say that PC's probably already doing it at the moment as it is. So yeah, be interesting. It's quite a weird thing actually from the gaming industry is that a lot of games are pretty much built for consoles. They don't really like build them for PC in the same way. So, like for instance, is when you see the capabilities of a game, it's really the capabilities in terms of what it can push for an actual console. I guess like one of the most recent adaptations of where that hasn't really been a thing is probably with CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077, where it looks really nice on a PC, but it's a complete disaster on, you know, base PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles, even though they designed it for those consoles. So yeah, bit strange from that point of view, but there you go. I would also expect to see some like really big games kind of get released. Obviously, like the new Halo game is meant to be out at some point within the coming year, so that could be quite a big one. And I think it's also releasing on PC as well, which is quite a big thing too, considering it used to just be an Xbox series. So from that point of view, that looks pretty interesting. In terms of any other PC, I'll be interested to see what Bethesda has coming out, and obviously like keeping an eye on Rockstar and see where their future lies in terms of what they're going to do with like any of their new games, or if they're going to release just a completely brand new game at some point in time. But definitely they're the ones to keep an eye on as well, because there's a lot going on there. And also um, just seeing exactly like whether or not there's going to be new games like we had this year, you know, with Fall Guys being a prime example of how, you know, just like a little game that, you know, is probably just done for a little bit of fun actually turned out and was a massive hit, you know. I know it's not had the kind of shelf life it should have had if they were on top of it correctly, unfortunately. But generally speaking, it's a fun game. I've had a lot of fun with it. I may not have won as much as I would have liked, but that doesn't stop the fact from you know, the enjoyment of actually playing the game. I think it's always a good testament for a game where if you haven't won or you're not winning and it's a multiplayer game, and you're just enjoying it for, you know, what it is, as a laugh, and that it's normally a pretty good pretty good pretty good game in my book. So yeah, it's definitely kind of worked out for them. Wow, there are so many of us still in this on one platform. It is ridiculous. Oh, and I'm out. I didn't stand a chance there. I was done. That did not work at all. So yeah, it'd be great to see what the gaming industry and what kind of like, you know, independent kind of developers come up with in terms of being that next game that just kind of surprises everyone and is really given a foothold. And also maybe see what game is already out there that people have played, completely forgotten about, and comes back and makes a comeback, you know. And then another perfect example of that is Among Us. Like, that game's been out for a long time, and then all of a sudden just come out, and well, it's not come out again, but like people started picking it up after Fall Guys and became a massive hit as well. So, you know, there's a lot of good things within gaming that you can look towards, and certainly will be interesting to see. I wonder if we actually hear also anything from Nintendo in terms of a potential new console for themselves as well. It seems a little bit far-fetched that they would do something, considering the Nintendo Switch, as this guy has just collected his crown. Well done to him. What's his name? Fa la 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 guy. Oh no, that's the thing. What's he called? Veggie Sip or whatever. Veggie Gisp. Who cares? Anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly if Nintendo decide to kind of get into the next generation of gaming. I always respect Nintendo for being that kind of like independent kind of stand where they just do their own thing, but it'll certainly be something to look out for within 2021 and see if they come up with any sort of additional kind of like software or add-ons for the Switch to have it play at the capabilities of what PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X do, but it's definitely something to keep an eye out and see if they do try and push into that next generation band, or if they're going to sit tight on the Switch for a few years to come yet. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Those have kind of been my kind of like thoughts of what I'm expecting from like 2021 from me personally, a little bit into the sporting world and gaming world. Generally, I just want to make sure, well, just want to say actually that I hope all you guys are keeping safe during these times still. We still have a long way to go in this, unfortunately. Any sort of kind of normality probably won't happen until second part of this year by the seams of it, but you never know. Things might go up, things might become better sooner than later, and we might be able to live normal lives again. But I just want to wish you all very well. I hope you enjoyed your holidays this year that you had during December and this new year. And yeah, just thank you very much for watching these videos. I really appreciate the support, and if you could just leave your comments below, let me know what games you want to see me play in the future. Also, let me know what you think about 2021, what you're hoping to see happen in 2021, what you're trying to personally achieve in 2021. It'd be great to hear from you guys. Also, please remember to like the video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. But until next time, I'll check you guys out. Laters.